I'm Duke Ingram from the One Fight Unite team, and today I'm at the HS2 site. We're going to be going along a very, very important issue. Today I'm with Sarah Green, and as you can see, hi Sarah! Look at this fantastic t-shirt here, Stop HS2, and I'm sure a lot of you don't actually know what HS2 is. So we're going to actually show you some sites, show you what HS2 is all about, and we're going to hope that you can make a wonderful decision today and support us and make a positive change. We're with Nikki Samuels today. We're going to be joining Nikki, who's going to be talking through some wildlife issues, and we have a very special message at the end of this video today with Rosie D. She's going to be reading it out. So back to you, Sarah. We're going to go on a trip today, aren't we?
We certainly are. This is Arthur, my passenger boat.
Your passenger boat?
Yes.
Wow, it's a fantastic passenger boat.
And I operate on the Grand Union Canal in the Mid-Colne Valley Nature Reserves. Now, these nature reserves are a functional ecosystem for London. We're actually in Hillingdon in London, and this area produces the clean air and filters the water and actually cleans the water. The water quality higher up the valley is worse than further down, and this is because the functional ecosystem, the wet woodland, the amount of riparian zones around all the rivers, the lakes and the canal actually help to filter and clean the water.
Which is actually really, really important, because I don't think many people actually know that, what certain areas do and certain ecosystems. So today it's going to be very interesting to find out. I'm very passionate because I was actually brought up in this area, so I'm really honoured to be, helping or awareness, and the whole objective is to create awareness and hopefully stop HS2.
Certainly minimise the damage.
Minimise the damage, yes.
They are taking 370 acres of Hillingdon greenbelt.
Whoa.
And they're just passing through. They want 200 million tonnes of spoil dump on the fields. They want to build power stations. They want the sort of power stations that make this train go faster than any other train in the country. And it's only joining locations which are already
So this is all because of a vanity project. This is all because we have to get somewhere faster. So we destruct the land. That doesn't really compute to me. And and this is a pattern we see again and again and again. And I kind of think sometimes, Sarah, are we ever going to change?
We have to change. We have to change now because we've got climate change. And we have the Paris Agreement. The Paris Agreement says that all levels of government must ensure the integrity of the ecosystems that remain, because it's the ecosystems that moderate and create a livable climate. This is the ecosystem for London, for the fresh air and the clean water.
This particular area?
This area, yes.
Well, that's just beyond, isn't it? I mean, why is it that a lot of people don't actually know much about HS2? That's the question.
Well, if the government was so proud of it, I think it would be headlines. But they've been trying to win the PR battle, and sadly they keep failing. Well, hooray, they keep failing. Nobody wants HS2. Nobody.
No. We've got badger sets being trashed, people's houses being trashed. I mean, everything. It's just a trail of destruction. And
there are more bats here because this is a wetland and a waterway. It's a very, very important place for birds. But there's 12 species of bats that HS2 have actually acknowledged that are here.
Oh really?
And there's no mitigation for them.
And no comeback or no? Is it
no, nothing. I mean, Nikki can tell you more about that.
Yeah, it's just an Act of Parliament gives them the right to destroy, move, do whatever they wish with badgers, bats, as an Act of Parliament. Although we can show you bat roosts, we can show you badger sets, which are in the locations.
And that's the most important thing, Nikki, isn't it? Because I don't think people think, how many species are going to be wiped out here.
Oh, we have muntjacs, roe deer, we have pheasants, and we have grouse. We have barn owls, we have kingfishers, kites, kestrels, sparrowhawks, buzzards,
and
all in this area.
Yeah.
And because the ecosystem is so great, it sustains all these birds of prey, all these herbivores, everything, and they just want to dump on it, cover it with 3 metres of spoil. Spoil is what comes out of a tunnel. It's all the horrible
rubbish.
stuff, the rubbish.
Gooey stuff.
And
that,
some of our fields are going to be 3 metres deep.
Who's paying for this?
Uh,
want to know
the
who's-
public are. It's
The
coming
public?
from the purse, yeah, the public.
And what is, by the time this is finished, is what date? How much is the whole project costing?
2026, I think in 2012 it was estimated at 36 billion at those prices then.
Out of public money, 36
Yeah,
billion.
But by the time it's finished, we're already, I think, at 50 odd billion. So it will just escalate and escalate.
And this is just
believe.
adding on maybe 10 or 15 minutes to a journey.
That's right. It's everybody says the same thing, that they don't need.
Which is, to me, I think
need
that's
it.
quite...
The trains already run to Birmingham.
We should be investing in our natural services, in our fresh air. We've got illegal air in London. Why don't we find places that are not natural now and plant more trees?
Yes, that'd be amazing.
Yes,
Yeah.
I was just reading the mayor's plan for 2050, and he wants by then to have the cleanest air in the world for London, knowing already that he was quoting how many thousands of people die every year of asthma and lung related,
Yeah.
directly due to air pollution. But this high-speed rail is still going to produce carbon.
Carbon.
And because that hasn't been measured, it could go up, it could go down. Nobody knows. It could be 1,000 times worse.
And we just have to wait and
And
find
we've got to
out
wait
the
and find
answer,
out
which we've
because-
done so many times. But also, I've heard about the, in the fastest area, which is the route where it's going to be the fastest, and the birds can get sucked in. And
Right, the fastest area will be across the Colne Valley. It'll go from our lake, which we call Pit 2, which is Fisherman's Lake. It will go across there on what we call stilts, but there will be feet, and it'll be in the air, and it'll be on a curve.
Oh.
And the reason they want it on a curve is that as the train goes along, the people at the front of the train can see the back of the train, as you can't do that if you go in a straight line. But the other thing as well, they want
So they can
that-
change the design for vanity,
Yes.
just to make it appease
so
much
that
more
they can
exciting
see,
for people.
oh, that's the back of the train, and it will be the fastest part of the entire route. Will be on that viaduct, which will come right across here, above our heads, 12 metres above our heads, and it will be the fastest part of the entire route at 250 mile an hour.
And that's where, again, it can suck in,
It will
birds,
suck
can-
in bats if it's going at night. The owls won't know it's there. The bats won't know it's there. They're talking about mitigation of panels and things, but whether
But
that will
we're
come
yet to
about.
see if they actually
That they
put
said
that
they
in
want
or
to train the bats to go up over it.
train the bats.
They want to train the bats to put a sort of a screen there to train the bats to go over it.
I'm sorry, I'm laughing, but you can put this on film. Actually, I'm really laughing. And another thing that really upsets me is about the trees as well, because we've got woodlands and forests. That how old are those, Sarah? Some of the forests
Well,
and trees here? You showed me
the
one
area
before.
down the particular
Remember that
tree.
particular tree we went for a walk? We walked through. Were you talking about the one particular tree?
Well, we know the giant redwood tree
Giant
was
redwood tree.
1872.
Well,
That was planted at the same time as the Grade 2 listed bridge over the River Colne was opened. But the woodland around the River Colne has never been built on. It's been there for centuries upon centuries upon
Yeah.
centuries, and this is why the life is just so important to keep.
well, life is so precious, and I think it's something we're having to learn right now. I think in our whole world, our whole environment, like again, people are standing up to all these patterns of destruction in many different countries to our wildlife. And I think in England it's very important because this is one of the big events that's happening here. And I've always thought we must start with our own home and our own heart. To make these changes. If you can look out this window now and see what I'm seeing, the beautiful grass, why on earth would you want to destruct that or get rid of that? I want to know who thinks this rubbish up, because it is rubbish. But anyway, on to a positive note, let's go and see some beautiful things and see what we're up against.